Yeah. Yeah. Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Let's get it. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam. Sean on the mic, very flat too. Keep you updated, that's what we do. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Pro fans, tune into the program. Every single week, get the dope, fam.
Yo, what it do, everybody? It's your boy John Altidor with Pro Fan Sports Podcast. Back at you with another one of my boys, Vlad and Barry, and our special guest, Mikey Domagala. What's good, fellas?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
What's up, guys? I appreciate you having me on. Very excited to join you today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Mike. Great to have you on here. And this is a big episode for us. Excited as always to be on here and for episode 50. So I'm ready to have some fun today and and do this thing.
The big 5-0. I love it.
The big 5-0, man.
Yes, the big 5-0. That's right.
Yeah, man. Actually, back here, actually somebody, one of our supporters, made this and brought it to me. So shout outs to Meg from Little Details for our 50th episode. She brought that in for me. So, I had to shout her out. But episode 50, man. So we do this thing on here where we bring in famous number 50s. So for us, the number 50 would be like a Mike Vrabel from the Patriots.
I got that.
That was actually one of the people I was gonna name. I'll just give a couple because we want to keep it short and sweet, right, so we can get to the NBA with Mike. So one of them is David Robinson.
Yes,
I think who's the best 50 at least for the NBA. And then another notable one is Eddie House, who was part of the 2008
Celtic
championship team. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Extremely underrated to that team off that bench.
Absolutely,
he was absolutely. Oh yeah, definitely, man, no doubt.
I mean, around that time, I was only like 9 years old watching that Celtics team, but I remember Eddie House, man, and then he went to Miami afterwards. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and he was still balling over there too.
Yeah, he did his thing over there for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Who else you got? I got Rob Ninkovich. Yeah. So that's my second.
Oh, Winovich, the guy that replaced him.
Winovich replaced him. Chase Winovich. That's the Patriots. Not sure if Mikey's a big Patriots fan. Probably not, because you're from New York. So
I'm not even too big of a football fan. I would lean towards the Giants rather than the disaster with the Jets.
Right. I mean, you're the NBA buzz guy. So
I got another notable one,
who you got?
Well, a couple notable ones, real quick. So Ryan Shazier, the linebacker from the Steelers.
The Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we got to mention this guy, Zach Randolph.
He's a GOAT. Zach Randolph's a GOAT, man.
Yeah. I
always remember that interaction with him and DeMarcus Cousins, where he's like, "Where I'm from, we bully the bullies." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I love that
too. That was awesome.
Yeah, man. So we're here with Mike Domagala of NBA Buzz, the official NBA Buzz on Instagram. A little background: you're the owner of NBA Buzz, right? And you attended Long Island University.
Yeah, so I'm still in Long Island University.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in my last semester of my senior year. I'm a journalism and broadcast major, so that's what I'm doing. And
congrats, man. That's awesome.
Having NBA Buzz and Inside Buzz, the show under my belt, it's really helped me through college and, helped me get places.
Right. So at 12 years old, you started NBA Buzz, man. I mean, I don't know what I was doing. I know what I was doing when I was 12 years old because I was talking about it yesterday. I was collecting Pokemon cards. What made you? I still have them, actually. I still have them because I saw Jake Paul pulled out like $1 million Charizard or something. I'm like,
I was gonna say you got to hold on to them.
Oh, I have them. They're in a binder, man. So at 12 years old, I was thinking about Pokemon. What were you thinking about at 12 years old that made you want to start a whole sports platform?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was just thinking about basketball, and I didn't look at it at the time of making it into this huge empire because I just started as a hobby. I wanted to join a different page, and they kind of saw how young I was, and this is going on 10 years ago now. Somehow it's crazy, and they kind of declined me because I was so young, and I said, to hell with it. I'm going to start
My own
start
thing.
stumping myself, and I started, and here we are. Just the constant grind has paid off.
That's awesome, man. I've been following NBA Buzz off Facebook for a long time, and I know maybe in the last 2 years you started the Instagram platform, maybe
Yeah, like
sometime around then.
the last 3, and I got to tell you, man, I wish I started way earlier because back in 2012, I mean, Facebook was it, Instagram was slowly coming, but I waited till about like 2017 to get on the Instagram grind. I wish I started it way before that, but can't take back time. You just gotta roll with the punches and go with it.
Well, good thing is you're still in college, so I think you'll be all right. As opposed to us, we're trying to get on your level right now. You know what I'm saying? We all went to college, undergrad. We're all working men now, so more power to you. And we appreciate you coming on here. So when I reached out the first time, I didn't think you were gonna respond. Right, I just shot in the dark. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, I'm not Leonardo DiCaprio over here.
Right. But like you said, right, you reach out to people, you don't know if they're gonna respond or not. You know what I'm saying? But I was genuinely, a fan of NBA Buzz, and dude, I posted on my story pretty much on a daily basis, like for the basketball updates. So, I definitely utilize that platform a lot for my information. So, just congrats on everything that you're doing. I know you have the Inside Buzz podcast that I watch sometimes as well. You're everywhere, man. So, you're definitely an inspiration, and I'm trying to get on your level, man.
Just keep up the grind and just let time do its course. That's kind of what I figured because, I'm about 10 years in 10-year anniversary of NBA Buzz starting will be in January. So it's been like almost 9.5 years of just straight hard work. So the more you guys reach out to people, do interviews, the more eyes will be on the product, and you'll have more success.
Right. So right now you have 2.8 million followers on Facebook.
Yeah,
and you're almost at
199,000 on IG coming up.
Yeah, it's big time, man. It's big time.
That's huge. That is great. Good for you, man.
Vlad, I know you wanted to ask a question.
Mikey, what got you into basketball? Like what? At such a young age, what got you so into basketball?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 22, so I started watching basketball in just about 2008. And who was the top guy at that time? None other than Kobe Bryant. So Kobe Bryant, rest in peace, man.
Whoa.
Not LeBron.
No. Hey,
in 2008. When the Celtics won the championship, I don't know. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Answer the question.
We came back and went back to back after that. But,
y'all did. Kobe.
Sure.
I was always a Knicks fan at that time, but how can you not love Kobe? But
of course.
You gotta love Kobe back then. He really got me into basketball, and I was playing basketball at the time. I played through high school, and college level is a little tough. I'm only like 5'6", so
Do you have Nice, man. You played? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, just high school basketball.
Just high school?
Just like rec stuff around town and stuff with friends. And
I mean, like majority of us, not a lot of us are playing college ball, especially not with my major and stuff like that. I couldn't really play in college, but I played soccer and football, so that was always my niche right there. I know Barry played football.
I did. I was a football player as well as a basketball player myself. So I played both sports, which was pretty cool and awesome to do that.
I gotta tell you, if you have a sports background and you're like in the trenches, so to speak, playing basketball, even if it's not on the highest level, the game, and when you're reporting on the game, you know how to talk better about basketball because you're so experienced with it. So it's always a plus.
Yeah, man, that's absolutely right. Before we go any further, I'd like to invite you to follow us on Instagram at profans_sports, and make sure you follow official NBA Buzz on Instagram as well. We're also on Facebook.com/profansports. NBA Buzz is on Facebook as well. Instagram, Twitter, youtube.com/profansports. Episodes drop every Tuesday morning, and the YouTube videos drop on Wednesday. And there you'll get to see us and, catch this show with Mikey Domagala. right? So let's move on into the NBA, man, since we got the NBA guy in the house. So we got some NBA news coming out. KD's out for the All-Star game, but he will still be the captain for the team. Domantas Sabonis will replace him for the All-Star game. Devin Booker will be replacing AD because he's injured and out for the Lakers. Jason Tatum has been elevated as an All-Star starter this year, which will be the first time he'll be a starter in his career. And, you know, some other news that's going on. The Lakers are struggling during the absence of AD. Pascal Siakam will miss the game before the All-Star break due to health and safety protocols. And Raptors coaching staff impacted by COVID-19. So there's a lot of stuff going on. But I wanted to get Mikey's take on the NBA season so far. And what are you seeing? Is there a team that's surprising you? Is there a team that's not surprising you? And I mean, who's your favorite team right now, other than the Knicks, right?
Well, the Knicks are my favorite team, but they have to fall into that role of who's most surprising because fourth in the East, I mean, they're playing great team basketball. Not the greatest offense, even though Julius Randle's at the helm, but their defense is really what's going on. I mean, they're really holding it down and forcing really good teams into just bad shooting nights. So I'm extremely impressed with my Knicks. I didn't think they were going to come up to this hot of a start, guys. But another team who, you know, I'm a little worried about is the Atlanta Hawks. They just actually, right before we got on, they fired their head coach, Lloyd Pierce.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did hear about that. Yeah, right. I know that.
I just made the post
crazy.
right before I came on. And
me too. That was wow.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see them elevate Nate McMillan into the head coaching spot.
I like Nate.
He's
Me
an assistant
too.
on
That
the
would
team.
be a good move.
Yeah, he'd fit right in. He's right with the team, so why not elevate him? And they've dealt with some injuries, but if you got Trae Young, John Collins, Clint Capella, who's playing his butt off, and just great all-around pieces, Gallinari, Kevin Huerter, and Rondo, all those guys, there's no reason why you should be like 11th in the East right now. I see them as like a top 6 team, and they're just not there.
I mean, especially with the East, we're kind of struggling other than, you know, Philly and the Nets right now. You know, everybody else is struggling, so I don't understand that as well.
Yeah, you know, the other headlines you were talking about, All-Star game coming up, very excited. It's going to be interesting having that one day game on that one day night, on Sunday.
I mean, what did you think about the NBA having an All-Star game in the first place?
You know, I'm on both sides of the coin, to be honest. I feel like the games are already being played, so you know, you could play. I mean, you could be as safe as possible, but I also see it as it's a shortened season. We're coming off a really short turnaround for the off season coming into the year, so.
I mean,
you know, it's all about the money. So I knew it was going to happen at the beginning of the year anyway.
Yeah, I just don't agree with it. Why have those guys play an extra game, just a game that doesn't even matter? You know, I mean, it means nothing in the grand scheme of things. And you're also exposing people to – you're exposing more people to more people in a place like Atlanta where – you know,
where they have no rules right now.
Yeah, I just –
they're like their own country over there.
I just don't think I just don't think it's necessary.
I feel like that lower eastern pocket of Atlanta, Florida's like their own country too.
They don't care about anything, man. You know, I mean, I know Jason Tatum's going to be in the All-Star, and he caught the corona. He just caught it, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, I know they're a hot spot. I know they're a hot spot in Atlanta.
I have 2 questions for you guys, and for you, Mikey, as well. Well, one question is Jason Tatum came out saying that after he had the coronavirus, he had difficulty breathing. So do you think he should play in the All-Star game, one? And do you think he deserved to be a starter above Jaylen Brown?
To cover how he feels, I mean, I think that's totally up to him. I think he could have opted out if he wanted to for his health, if he wasn't sure about family. I had corona in December, and I was shot for like 4 days, and I was just sitting on the couch. You know what I mean? So even like a week after, I was still feeling the after effects, but now I'm fine. But Tatum getting back to the court and really running miles and miles every game, I mean, he must have been shot after those games after having COVID. So,
Oh.
and for the All-Star starting spot, I would give it to Tatum over Brown. I mean, that's kind of a toss-up. Who else are you going to really put in there other than those two? And even though Tatum's having a little bit of a lesser season than he had last year, I thought he was going to really improve this year, even more so. And he's struggling a little bit. Is it the COVID? Is it not? Who knows?
Well, I think Jaylen Brown definitely improved a lot more this year than
for sure.
Jason Tatum has, and also Tatum missed 2 weeks of games, and his play has slumped a little bit after the COVID. So I think Jaylen Brown's been so consistent for the most of the year. I just think he deserved it over him, but I don't know. That's me. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think, Jason Tatum's definitely the more elite athlete between the two, but I just think this year, though, Jaylen Brown has been the most consistent player for the Celtics, with Jason Tatum going out for a couple weeks. And this guy's been efficient. He's hitting a lot of mid-range jumpers. He's, high percentage in threes. He's doing everything until the knee situation came around, and he has to sit a little bit. And I'm kind of scared of knee situations, right? Because it's like, what they say, like hyperextension or something?
I think it was knee tendonitis.
Tendonitis, and like you were saying, that doesn't go away, and I'm definitely concerned about that, man.
And him just running around, kind of horsing around in an All-Star game, it might not be worth it.
No.
Right, because I can remember last year, Kemba Walker played in the All-Star game, and then he came back, and we couldn't utilize him because he further injured himself.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys definitely got to be smart. I get it. The All-Star game is very exciting to make as a pro, especially if it's your first time making it. For Jaylen Brown, it's his first time. For Jason Tatum, it's his first time as a starter. So I can understand they probably don't want to miss these things. But at the same time, it's like, what are you trying to do with the rest of your season? You want to be healthy or risk anything?
And I mean, this All-Star year, it's going to be very bizarre not having any fans in the crowd. The dunk contest, we're not going to get that fan excitement of the players.
That energy, right.
Yeah, the players and the fans on the side, phones out and, recording, going crazy. And it's gonna be weird. I'm not going to lie.
The dunk contest in itself, who do we got? Like Anthony Simmons, Cassius Stanley. Who's the third guy that they
Obi
got
Toppin
going in? Obi Toppin.
Yeah.
I like Obi Toppin a lot. He's in my fantasy team. But I'm definitely kind of like disappointed with the lineup for the dunk contest.
I am too. I'm not going to lie. But I feel like every year they do 4 players. Am I right on that?
I feel like it's usually more. Like, isn't it like 6, and then they have like a couple rounds, and you end up with 3, and then they take it on from there?
So I'm hoping tonight we hear somebody else is joining them, because the 3-person dunk contest is going to be like 10 minutes long.
Who do you want to see in there, though?
I mean, I would love to see Zion. Why not?
I was just gonna say we need to see Zion.
Come on, we gotta
for sure. Nah, that's the guy right there.
Even though I don't know if Ja could do what Zion could do, dunk wise. I mean, Ja has bounce, but
Ja is nice though.
Ja Morant is nice.
Yeah. He is.
What's that kid? Maybe he's from the Suns. He's a rookie. Hampton. RJ Hampton
on the Nuggets, yeah.
That's it.
From the
That's
Nuggets.
it. That's it. The Nuggets.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. I seen him dunk the other day. And you posted Dennis Smith Jr. I want to see him in something.
Dennis Smith Jr. too's got bounce. And another guy. This might surprise you, but all the young kid fans love him. Did you guys see that video of Bol doing like a reverse 360 dunk?
I did. I seen that.
I mean,
no, I did not.
Yeah, if they put Bol in there, I mean, the whole NBA will blow up. Oh my God, look at this guy doing.
What's Bol, like 7 feet tall?
Like 7'2",
I think.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous, man.
I know, that is insane.
It's crazy stuff. Another situation that happened in the NBA, the Timberwolves, they fired Ryan Saunders, I believe. And some weird stuff happened where they brought in a coach right away from the Raptors. I don't know too much about that, but I feel like that was really strange. Usually when that happens in the NBA, you have the interim guy comes in. I've never seen or maybe my knowledge is not extensive enough. I've never seen a team fire their coach and bring one right in, like in the middle of the season.
Yeah, I heard it's happened before. I mean, I forget the guy's name. He was an assistant off Toronto's bench. And I mean, the Raptors won a championship. Nick Nurse is one of the best staffs in the league. So I understand that move from the Timberwolves.
His name is Chris French.
Chris French. Okay.
Yep.
I understand that move, but the Timberwolves are still losing even after he's come in. So, I'm not too sure it's about the coaching. It's more about the players.
I'd agree with that. Absolutely. They definitely need to reevaluate their roster and then make some moves without question.
So you think the players were on board with this? Is that what you're saying?
No, not that they were on board with the firing. I mean that it's more so the players are the lineups and the players are the problems rather than the coach.
Right, rather than the coach.
Yeah,
okay, I see what you're saying.
Is the guy going to make the same shot if a different guy yells something from the sideline? It's all up to the play. Not all of it, but it's mostly up to the players.
Yeah, they need somebody to whisper in the ear, "You can make this." Maybe that will help them out a little bit. Another situation happened last week because of one of the favorite topics we like to talk about on this show is Kyrie Irving. So he's been advocating for Kobe to replace Jerry West on the NBA logo. And he gave a interview and spoke up a little bit about it, basically saying that NBA was pretty much the person that most of these basketball players looked up to. This generation of basketball players is, Kobe's their idol, so they feel like Kobe should be on the logo. And that's been, the conversation throughout the weeks. How you guys feel about that?
For me, even Jerry West, the logo, said he would be totally fine with the changing. He said he didn't even want to be the logo. The artist just took a picture of him in 1965 or whatever it was and just drew him. So that being said, I have a better idea. I kind of saw some comments on social media about it. What about every 10 years, every 15 years changing the logo? So if you made the change in, say, 2009 when Kobe was hot, and then 10 years later, now in 2020, to commemorate LeBron's career right now, and then 10 years from now, Luka, if he's still at the top, maybe that would be the answer. Wonder what you guys think of that. I
mean, logos change all the time, so I really don't understand the big deal. I guess there's old school basketball pundits that want, Jerry West to stay on there. I listen to a lot of sports radio, so an argument I heard was like, well, now you're going to, diminish Jerry West's legacy to bring on Kobe because we're not diminishing anything, man. We don't even think about the NBA logo. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you think about that's not the first thing we think about. Like, who's really paying attention to that? And again, logos change all the time. Companies do it all the time. They get slicker, they get better. Even the teams do it, almost on a 5-year basis. Like, the Rams just came out with a new logo. And that's been around, for a long time. How y'all feel?
Well, it's interesting, the idea that Mikey brought,
I like
everything. I don't know if I'm a big fan of that. I do like consistency, and when you have something consistent, it's great. I just don't think it matters, honestly. I don't think it matters who's on there. I think they made a mistake putting somebody on there. Like, if you look at the baseball logo, right, it's just some guy with a bat. Nobody knows who that is. It could be anybody. Yeah. Like, it's just about the sport. So I think, honestly, they made a mistake putting somebody on there in the first place. They could have just put a logo that could have been just like a silhouette or something. It shouldn't have been anybody. But now it's like, does it really need to be changed? There's so many people that could be on there. Bill Russell, Michael Jordan. Like, we can go to the list of people that could be on there. So it's just I don't think it needs to be changed.
Yeah, I saw something else getting to the silhouette part, like the MLB, it's just a random guy, whoever that may be. Somebody said in the NBA Buzz comments that they should do like the Larry O'Brien trophy as the logo or something, because that's what everybody plays for. I mean, that's just another idea to think of.
I like that.
That's a way
And-
to just
Yeah, I
dead off
wouldn't
the
mind seeing
conversation.
that.
Exactly. No players, no argument, no BS. Just
We're done.
Yeah.
And you know what? Adam Silver honored Kobe by making the All-Star MVP trophy after Kobe. So I think that's great. And I think that's good enough.
Another point about that is, and I mean, I don't mean to be
No.
rude, I guess, but all these legends are going to pass away one day. Does that mean every legend's going to get the logo, another trophy? Like Bill Russell's up there in age. Like when he passes away, does that mean we need to cater? You know what I mean? So if you start that with Kobe, you might have to do that for every legend. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying, maybe in the future that's how it would have to go.
I mean, we haven't heard too much from the NBA about that, so they're probably like, "Yo, let's let them argue about this, and they'll get over this in a couple months." Because the first year anniversary of Kobe's death just passed, so naturally people are gonna bring up Kobe again, and it's gonna be a conversation, until next year, when it comes back on again. But I definitely agree with you guys. I didn't hear Barry.
Yeah, Barry.
I mean, you guys kind of said it all. But I think, from my standpoint, I mean, if they do decide to change it, cool. If they don't, then, it is what it is. I'm okay with it.
We're still going to watch basketball.
Right. It doesn't really make, much of a difference, like who's on there and what the logo looks like. I mean, because logos, like you said, John, always constantly change, over time, and are always being updated. So, I don't think it's something that should be really much of as big of a deal as people, and the NBA or just NBA fans in general are making. I mean, it would be a nice way to honor him, Kobe, to do that. But you're right, the league has certainly already done their fair share, at this point to honor, him and to give him the, the tributes and everything that they've given him and his family. So, either way, I'm okay with it. So, we'll see what happens and how it goes moving forward with the logo.
Yeah, thank you, Barry. We're
No
gonna move
problem.
on to a comment that was made by we're gonna bring soccer a little bit into the NBA right now because a comment was made by Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Is that
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Ibrahimovic?
Yes.
Right.
That's a crazy name.
For real, Ibrahimovic.
He calls himself the Lion.
He is a lion, man. You see him play?
Really?
you see him on the field, man?
Man.
He's crazy. So he actually came out with a comment this week, about an NBA superstar, and I'm talking about LeBron James. And, this has been a big debate, for a long time now, but it pretty much, there was a magnifying glass on it since last year because of the George Floyd situation and the players speaking up. So there's a lot. It's a highly sensitive situation for a lot of people. And he came out and made a statement, and his statement was, he's phenomenal, but I don't like when people have some kind of status and they do politics. And the same time as what they're doing, stay out of it. Do what you're best at because it doesn't look good. So basically he's saying, shut up and play ball, right? That's the infamous line, right? I know you guys probably heard of it. I know NBA Buzz was all over it. What was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'll start on that. First thing about that is that guy, I don't even remember his name, but it's funny. When I posted about it and when other NBA accounts posted about it, people are like, who's this guy? But meanwhile, this guy's got like 300 million followers.
Oh, dude, he's famous.
In
he's
Europe,
big
in the
time.
soccer world, this guy's like the most famous of them all. Maybe even more famous than LeBron, which is insane. But
in soccer.
Exactly. The point is, though, LeBron makes all these moves. He starts his school. He helps his community. And there's nothing wrong with him doing all that. Why, with some European countries and countries over there who are also struggling, struggling economy and stuff like that. Maybe he should speak up more for his people, and he could help his own people. So maybe he's the one in the wrong. That's how I see it. I mean, I got nothing wrong with LeBron doing what he does, what he says. Maybe the other guy who can't pronounce his name or whatever, he needs to do that because he has way more followers. He could help the world, you know?
He could, for sure.
Yeah.
Vlad, how'd you feel? 'Cause I know, these are things that you're on pretty much as soon as they come out.
Yeah, well, I'm a big soccer fan, by the way, and Zlatan, yeah, you're right. He's one of the few great soccer players, and he's like Tom Brady, like LeBron, he's performing. He's 39 years old right now, and he's performing really well. So people look up to him a lot, and he does have a huge influence. And he played for LA Galaxy a couple years ago, so he's definitely has a lot of influence over in the U.S. and all around the world. But I agree with you, Mikey, that with all that influence, he should be speaking up about things that are wrong, not only in his country but around the world. And I think LeBron is doing the right thing by speaking up about things that are wrong around the world. I think when you have a platform such as soccer or basketball, people are following you, people look up to you, and it's your job to speak up and bring awareness to different issues. Not only bring awareness, but also let people know that you're supporting good causes out there.
Mm-hmm. Barry, what you got?
Yeah, I thought that it was ridiculous for him to to say that. We just recently got over the lady news reporter coming out and saying that to LeBron a few years ago, that he should shut up and dribble and and stay out of politics and not speak up on things that are outside of basketball. But I certainly think that is great that LeBron is really doing it and doing it more than than any other athlete, really, at least in the NBA wise. And not only that, but it just his voice, as like you guys said, he has his following is different and is much bigger and more impactful than everyone else. So his voice is powerful. So I think he even himself brought up a good point saying that because his voice is powerful, maybe that rubs people the wrong way and makes people feel some type of way just because of how how much powerful his voice is. But no, I certainly think that more athletes should be speaking up and voicing their opinions and their thoughts about things that are going on in the world, like current events and the social justice issues, among other issues that are occurring. So I think the guy was out of line. Who said that about LeBron, that soccer player?
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna let y'all pronounce his name. I don't even know how to pronounce it. Yeah, I'd mess it up even worse than you guys. But nonetheless, yeah, I thought it was called for him to do that in a way even disrespectful to come at LeBron like that. But I've certainly liked the way that LeBron James has handled it. And I'm not even a LeBron James fan, but I've always highly respected him for for doing what he does outside of basketball and making his voice heard and and using his platform the right way and the way that more people should, or someone that has a bigger platform like he does use it to benefit the others and in the communities that are struggling and that need to be uplifted and could definitely use it in a way to benefit them.
Yeah, no, with that said, actually LeBron came out and he did make a statement after, in the press conference. I always love when LeBron does the press conference because he's just so calculated, man. Like he's he's like the most ready professional basketball player to answer questions, man, no matter what time it is. Like, this guy just always has some crazy answer for you. You know, and pretty much he said, I will never shut up about things that are wrong. I preach about my people, and I preach about equality, social justice, racism, voter suppression, things that go in our community. And I mean, he said a lot more than that. We're not going to spend too much time on that. But, you know, I agree with you guys for sure. You know, I did a poll on Instagram on our page, and I asked everybody, you know, should athletes speak up or shut up and play ball? And, you know, majority of the people say they should speak up. But one person said that, you know, they should speak up, but it bothered them that athletes get, you know, the most shine when it comes to things like that. You know, and with to that comment, my response was, you know, they have the biggest platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not coming to Pro Fan Sports Podcast to hear, you know, what I have to say about social justice. They're all watching the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So they have to utilize the platform that they have. And if they're not doing it, they're doing a disservice to their community. So more power to those guys, man. And I definitely understand where Zlatan's coming from as well. Because a lot of sports fans, they don't like the politics stuff, which I understand it. But at the same time, you know, you can't tell a guy to not speak on what they believe in, and you know, what they want to opine on. So, thanks for the opinions on that. We're gonna go into some Celtics news, Mikey. You know, because this podcast is on the East Coast, and we're big Celtics fans over here. And a lot of our fans are Celtics fans, so we like to definitely update them on what's going on. And you know, for the last week, the Celtics have been pretty inconsistent, you know, and being from New England, you know, the pressure's on around here. You know, there's big time criticism on everything, TV, radio. They're killing the guys, you know. Jason Tatum can't carry a team, you know, Jaylen Brown's never going to be, you know, any better than that. You know what I'm saying? They're saying a lot of stuff. And one comment I heard from the owner himself, Whit Grusbeck. He was Grossbeck. He was on the Felger and Mash show, which is a local show here on the Boston. What is it?
98.5 Sports Hub.
Sports Hub.
That's it. Sports Hub.
Yeah, Sports Talk Radio station.
So his comment I thought was pretty funny because he made a comment about somebody that hasn't played for us in 2 years now. So his comment was, "We had hoped Kyrie would stay forever and lead us all the way. He's on maybe the best team in the league right now, and so that's that. And that change touched off a lot of stuff because he left. We weren't able to maybe recruit free agents from the same way. And, you know, a bit of a domino effect, but it is what it is. We went for it with Kyrie. We had a good year with him. He tried hard, and then he moved on." I know how I felt about those comments, but I wanted to know if you guys heard those comments or if it's the first time you're hearing it. What's your reaction to that?
I heard it, but if you don't mind, can you repeat what was his first sentence about Kyrie?
We had hoped Kyrie would stay forever and lead us all the way.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, when Kyrie was with you guys, this is just from me, an outsider looking in. I know you guys are all Celtics fans. You guys weren't what you necessarily was worked up to be with Kyrie. And you guys brought in Kemba Walker. What else does the owner want? I know Kemba's really not playing his best like his Charlotte days right now, but there's Kyrie up here, then there's Kemba right below him when Kemba was in the Charlotte days. So that comment, when I read that, it rubbed me the wrong way from the owner, because what else do you want? You know, because I understand you guys need a true big man. That's in my opinion. But what else do you guys want? What else does he want? I should say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm just surprised. I just thought that we were over Kyrie. You know what I mean? Like I thought the Kyrie days were over with, and it was a disaster. I thought, you know, like the way it ended, the way we got eliminated by the Bucks, the team quit in that series, and it's been a long time since a Boston team quit on the court. You know what I mean? And I just didn't think that was representative of what Boston stands for, which is play hard. You know, no matter what the team that we have, we just play hard. And I thought the Kyrie, you know, signs experiment. Yeah, I thought that was a disaster, to be honest. So I've been over that. So I'm just surprised that the owner is not. If no wonder why things are not going well this year. If the owner is still talking about Kyrie, bro, are you kidding me? Let's get over that.
Well, there's that term "living rent free" in one's head. I love that term. Kyrie's just living in his head.
That's crazy.
I agree. It's like 2 years ago now. They're so over that. That's not even a thought.
I think he lives in a lot of fans' heads too here.
Well, that's for sure. I mean,
absolutely.
He lives in my head sometimes.
Us too, man.
I'm on the fence with Kyrie.
You're not the only one, Mikey. You're not the only one, man. My thoughts in regards to the owner's comments about Kyrie. I definitely was surprised, by it. I mean, in a sense, I could see where, he was coming from and what he was saying, just because ever since Kyrie left the Celtics, like, pretty much it's been a trickle-down effect and things have gone downhill with the team, and the team hasn't performed, as well as expected, and and gotten to that championship level that we thought, that they would be at right now. And he thought that Kyrie, when he got him here, was going to be a cornerstone of the franchise and a part of that core that they could, be able to build around, along with, Jason Tatum and, Jaylen Brown and even, Hayward. He thought he had a, championship, core that was going to be playing together for the years to come, and that was going to bring, some banners and be the next, sort of, Celtics dynasty in a sense. But unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and Kyrie just, as we know, wasn't happy here. He just didn't want to be in Boston, and didn't like playing here, and decided to go team up with KD in Brooklyn. So it's like, once that happens, and you guys are right, as a franchise, you have to move on and then find other players and other guys that you can be able to bring in to build the championship team that you want to, particularly here in Boston. That's what we do, and that's what we should be competing for, and anything less is definitely not accepted around here, particularly with the Celtics and their history of winning. So I think the owner is definitely still in his feelings, clearly, and still crying himself a river, as they would say about Kyrie. And I think he just has to move on and focus on this current team and why they're not playing well, and why they're being so inconsistent and not playing to expectations of not only the fan base but themselves, their own the team in general. Their expectations are not meeting, so he certainly has to reevaluate his thought process, because you're right, guys, like they say, everything starts on a company, on an organization, starts from the top and goes to the bottom. So if someone's thinking somewhere or doing something at the top that's not right, then it's going to have a trickle down effect to the guys that are at the below them in the organization. So that certainly could possibly be a reason why the Celtics are struggling, due to his mentality and his comments that he said on the Felger and Matt show.
I mean, I think that's just not – you're doing a disservice to your team, because, like, what's the message you're sending to your team there, right? It's like, we're in the middle of the season, you're talking about Kyrie Irving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, we made it to the NBA the East Finals, right, last year, Eastern Conference Finals. Correct. We made it all the way there. You didn't say anything about Kyrie then. So, like, why are we talking about Kyrie right now? I think it just doesn't put us in the right light. I think it creates pressure for the guys that we do have. You're pretty much saying like our guys are not good enough, is what you're saying. Without Kyrie, we're not able to do what we wanted to do. But I think the dynamics between the Nets organizations and the Celtics organization is crazy because we thought we fleeced those guys, right? A few years ago, when we got all those picks from them, like we thought, they're gonna suck for years. You know what I'm saying? And now they have a championship team, and we're talking about, hey, we should have kept Kyrie.
Yeah.
So we're kind of like
No, it's crazy. How things are turned around.
I got a question for you guys. What do you want to see? What do you want to see as a change for the Celtics team?
We need a big man, like you were saying, man. Like we need a true big man, that is good on defense, that can play off of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? We need a big man that can make some shots. I thought Miles Turner was the guy. He should have been the guy. He should have been the guy. Right. I think we all said on this show, like Miles Turner was the guy we wanted to see. And I think Danny Ainge messed up by, not trading Gordon Hayward for the two pieces that they were willing to give us, because we see what we look like this year. We definitely need, a third guy that's capable of doing things out there. And Miles Turner is killing it on defense,
leading shot blocker in the league.
He's active. He can shoot the three if he needs to. You know what I'm saying? He can guard the big guys. His contract was a bad contract, come over and stuff like that. But that's a chance I would have been willing to take.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to say with that. I agree with John. Miles Turner was it. And I think we need to bring it big. That's really what it is.
I see you guys need some. I feel like you guys need another scorer off that bench too.
I was just gonna say that.
I mean,
Mike, absolutely.
We definitely do.
I like Pritchard, and I like the backups there, and there's something missing there. Something missing, like a pure scorer type, maybe like a. Oh man, who would that even be?
I was thinking JJ Redick.
Yeah, something like
JJ Redick.
Yeah, because they were talking about him not liking him over there with the Pelicans, and
he wants to come to the East Coast too.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, yo, bring JJ Redick in.
Not bad,
right.
yeah.
The interesting thing I've heard about JJ Redick is the preferred teams he wants to go to, since his family's from New York, is either the Knicks or the Nets. So those would be his top two options if he does decide to. Well, if he does get traded to another team at the deadline coming up, those would be the teams that he wants to go to. But definitely, I'm with you on that, Mike, in terms of the Celtics needing another scorer, particularly another wing scorer. I certainly need, obviously along with the big man, but they need some more scoring off the bench, because what I'm seeing is that there's so much pressure and so much of a load that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown have to carry offensively, night in and night out for this team. And that if they're not, scoring at the level that, they need to be scoring, or that they, usually score at, then, pretty much the team's in bad shape, because there's no other guy that can step in and be able to, feel that board. Like, Kemba Walker was supposed to be the guy, but he's been fairly inconsistent, and then also not playing back-to-backs has, held him back from doing that. And then also missing Gordon Hayward is another thing. They never really replaced him and brought anyone to fill that void, and to kind of be that wing scorer off the bench, kind of like he was, to be able to give them some more production from a scoring standpoint. An interesting name that I've been hearing today, as far as who the Celtics could bring in, was Victor Oladipo. He just turned down that contract extension with the Rockets, and he's in a contract year, so he'll be a free agent at the end of this season. And it doesn't seem like he wants to, stay in Houston and be part of a rebuild. So,
Well, they're on an 11-game losing streak, aren't they?
Yep.
What they lose by?
Jesus.
49 last night?
49 last
my
night. And
God.
back,
Yeah, I didn't really realize that. That bad? My God.
yeah, and back
Crazy.
on the Celtics, I want to see them unleash Aaron. Is it Nesmith or Nesmith?
Nesmith.
Yeah, I
Nesmith.
want to see them unleash Aaron Nesmith. He's like a knockdown 3-point shooter, and maybe that's the problem. He's not getting minutes.
but they give him minutes. They give him. He's been playing around 20 minutes or so, and scoring 0 points.
The last couple weeks he has.
Okay.
Yesterday he got a DNP.
Yeah, but he was playing 20 minutes for at least 2 weeks, and a couple games he scored 0 points, and I was like, man,
exactly. Right.
The best shooter in the draft.
Exactly. I mean, I don't watch too many Celtics games, but that's what I remember. He was the best shooter in the draft, and he should be popping those threes.
Peyton Pritchard is a lot better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's for sure.
Right. No, he's shooting and just overall. So he's been a disappointment for us.
I mean, I want to ask NBA Buzz, like, I'm sure you have some connection in the league telling you what's going on, and what do you think? what kind of moves do you think Danny Ainge is gonna make for the Celtics?
Jesus Christ, I don't know, man. I want to see them bring in Drummond, to be honest. A trade wouldn't work because he'd be way, 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 way too much money.
Too much money, yeah.
So if he gets bought out by Cleveland, maybe Danny Ainge could recruit him over there because he's not the greatest defensive center, but he'll really help the Celtics on offense. And, if you still got Tice down there with him, if Tice would be the backup and whatnot, Tristan Thompson, maybe having Drummond as a starting center will do it.
What about Barnes from the Kings?
I wouldn't mind it. It's not bad.
I like him. I think we definitely just need a scorer off the bench, man, and a vet. I like Peyton Pritchard a lot, man, but he's a rookie, and when you're relying on a rookie, off your bench, man, it's never really like the best thing going on in the NBA.
Back to Oladipo. To be honest, I see New York Knicks or Miami Heat for VO. In my opinion, that's what I'm hearing.
Oh, I did hear about the Heat being interested.
I feel like I like the Heat for him better.
Yeah, I could see him going to the Heat. I mean, the Knicks are still kind of a project, but the Heat, I mean, he goes there. They might be top dog in the East.
I like the Knicks a lot, though. I like the Knicks a lot.
Because the Knicks have Reggie Bullock as their shooting guard, and he's only just a straight shooter. He's So if they they get VO in there alongside Randall, it'll be a nice duo.
They got a really great defense, man. And the length on that team is crazy, man. They're super long. They give people problems, man. I think they're gonna do well going into. I mean, they're the 4th seed. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody in the offseason was like, yo, the Knicks will be the 4th seed, halfway through the season. It's like, shout outs to Tom Thibodeau. He, the former Celtics assistant, who won us a championship, 2008. So, we're ever indebted to him there.
That guy can coach for sure. No, he's a great defensive coach, and it's certainly proven that with the Knicks. Just a quick point, Celtics point I wanted to make. I don't know what you guys think about this, but I'm thinking that the Celtics should play Robert Williams more because I've been liking what I've been seeing from Robert Williams. And we talk about, needing another big man and, the Celtics needed, more sides and, and a presence down low in the paint. So I think certainly what they need to do is they need to either start Robert Williams or give him more minutes. I know his minutes have gone up the last couple of games, but I want to continue to see that moving forward and, and him get more opportunities to play because he's been definitely taking advantage of them when he's been on the court.
Yeah, Rob is like super athletic, jumps out the gym. The thing about him is like, he'll do some really, really good stuff and then some really messed up stuff, in the same breath. You know what I'm saying?
He's a little clumsy, right? He's kind of not fully in the system, it seems like.
Dude, He played like 16 minutes the other day and almost had like 8 fouls. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
It's like how you do that? You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Like some of the stuff he does, it's like nobody's doing that other than Robert Williams. And then some of the stuff he's doing is like that's why you don't have.
I think
as
he's
many
been
minutes.
getting. I think he's been getting better though. I agree with you
Absolutely.
that he has that trend, John, where he's he can be either helping your team win or helping the other team win. You know what I mean? So, but I think he's been getting a lot better, and I think he's earning his minutes. And I do think he should start over Theis and over Tristan Thompson. I think I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. Danny Ainge tried to sell us on Tristan Thompson and what's his name?
And Jeff Teague.
Jeff Teague. The worst thing, the worst offseason deals I've ever seen. Like, he tried to tell us these guys were gonna help us win. No. Like please, come on now.
Tell me about it.
Another thing is, I think this proves how important Marcus Smart is for that defense, his 3-point shooting.
Of course.
Absolutely.
He's somebody you guys are missing.
I seen somebody posted the other day. It's like, well, I think it's it's fair to say Marcus Smart is the most important player on the Celtics.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah, I mean, the last couple of weeks, it's like, what's going on, guys?
And then if you look at the Rockets, Christian Wood should be an MVP candidate.
Absolutely, they just went down the drain, man.
Obviously stretching out, but
right,
11 straight losses since he's been down. Oh my God.
No, it's been crazy, man.
What happened to him, to Christian Wood? Just real quick, I know
he messed up his ankle. Isn't that what happened? Like
ankle injury.
He sprained his ankle, and I saw that he was gonna take the free throws and like try to continue, and his teammates was like, "Nah, you gotta get out of here.
Nah, you gotta get out, bro."
They're like, "Yeah, nah, bro, you can't do that." We're gonna go into our last tidbits here on the Celtics. So since the last pod, the Celtics played four times. They played the Mavericks, Hawks, Pacers, and the Wizards. They lost against the Mavericks 110-107 on Luka Doncic. Last second 3-pointer at the buzzer, doing what Luka does. They lost to the Hawks 127-112 pretty handedly. They wasn't in the game pretty much the whole game. They won against the Pacers 118-112, and they won against the Wizards 111-110 with Jason Tatum hitting a last second shot to give us the lead there. What are you guys seeing the last 4 games? And what's helping us win, and what do we need to do to make sure we get into the consistent? What do we need to do to be consistent? It's pretty much a question.
Based off those scores, I mean, I watch every Knick game and just mostly the big time TV games. I don't have League Pass. I think it's a ripoff. So I don't watch too many majors, that many Celtics games. Just listening to the scores, it sounds like their defense. I mean, they're allowing like 115, 120 points per game in that span. So, maybe it's that. I'll let you guys take the rest.
Well, it's definitely defense, but it's I think it's the consistency from the guys in general. And I think Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, unfortunately, I just don't think those guys know how to make the guys around them better yet. I think those guys, they've been in the league for, I think Jason Tatum's been in the league for 4 years now, and Jaylen Brown's been in the league 5 years. Yep. And they're getting to that point where they're gonna be better. They're gonna be able to make their teammates better, but I just don't think they're there yet. I think their whole career they've been depending on other people to make them better, and I think they need to take that step where they're not only scoring, they're also making their teammates score. You know what I mean? Because they cannot carry the whole load by themselves, and I think that's been a problem. And I think also, obviously, as we talked about, not having Smart is also an issue, right? Smart not only can he score sometimes, but he brings defensive energy, and then he just brings energy to the team. Like whenever
he brings up the ball,
exactly. So I
can make plays, yeah.
So I think we need Smart back. 2, I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum need to learn how to make others better around them. And the whole team needs to play better defense. Like the whole team just needs to play better defense. But I just want to shout out Jason Tatum for the last game we played against the Wizards. He scored the final 6 points of the game, and he was a monster. I've never seen him play that. I've always complained about him not having that killer instinct,
not being assertive.
And last night he had it, and it was it was really impressive. And if he can keep doing that, I think that'll be great for him. I think that's the next step in his game.
Development.
Right, and to go along with what you were saying, Vlad, I think that I liked about that last particular game, in with those last 3 possessions in which he did score on, was that he didn't settle for the
jump shot,
step 3 that he does. That's like his signature.
He went to the rack.
Move, but pretty much exactly. He was aggressive and attacked the rim, and and got into the paint, and and took it right to the cup, which is what us Celtics fans, that's what we want to see more of, because he's shown that in flashes, but he hasn't shown that consistently, and he's relied too much on on his jump shot and and taking tough step backs or fadeaways. Like, yeah, he can make those, but we also know that he has the ability to, particularly with his size and his quickness and athleticism, to get by his defender and get into the paint in those crunch time situations. So it's certainly nice to see him actually do that. Last night against the Wizards, even though I'm not happy that they only won by 1 against a not very good team, even without Jaylen Brown, they should have still won by more than that. But a win's a win at the end of the day, and it was, good to see them actually be able to, close out a game well, because that's certainly something that they're struggling with, is closing out games and, finishing games. They're having terrible fourth quarters. They're having these fourth quarter struggles where they're just feel like too selfish and, playing too much iso ball, and the ball's not moving. And like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Kemba Walker, when he's in there, they're just, trying to take the game over themselves, and like not trust their teammates, and and play as a team. And they're not. And those are the games where they end up losing and not closing it out, and getting the win. So that's sort of something that I'm seeing. Another thing that I'm seeing is, you're right, like Kenny, like what you guys said, the lack of leadership on this team. Like, we thought that Tatum and Brown, were ready to take that role, but it doesn't look like they're quite there yet to actually be a leader on a winning team. I think certainly now we know who the leader is on that team, at least on the court, and that would be Marcus Smart. He's the only person that is actually willing to be a leader and hold guys accountable, because sometimes I just feel like there's really no one there that's gonna hold guys accountable, and that's gonna
yell at people,
right,
throw some stuff,
leader, and you know what I'm saying, exactly, and show some emotion, exactly, and really light a fire under guys. And the only person that's capable of doing that at least we've seen, is Marcus Smart. It's not even Brad Stevens. And so
that guy never says anything.
Right, exactly. He's just emotionless, and you're right, and is like calm, and has the most calm demeanor that I've seen as a coach and just as a person. But yeah, another thing that I'm seeing is that sometimes this team just like has a lack of pride and like heart. Like getting blown out by like the Hawks, having a team come back from 24 points and winning against the Pelicans last Sunday. Like those just things that shouldn't happen, and it's certainly Marcus Smart would help with that, but I mean, he can't solve all the issues for this team. So I think him coming back will help, but they definitely need to add more on the team at the deadline, without question.
No, for sure, man. I appreciate all the opinions on the Celtics. hopefully they can turn things around and be more consistent, especially when Marcus Smart comes back. The All-Star break is coming up next week. We'll see how that, develops. It's a well-needed break for these guys. And that's going to be it for our NBA segment. We'd like to say thank you to Mikey Domagala from NBA Buzz. Man, we really appreciate you staying on for the whole segment, man. I think you added a lot to the segment. We here at Pro Fan Sports, we're definitely indebted to you. And, we're going to keep following, supporting, and hopefully you can come back in the future, man.
Yeah, anytime, guys. I had a lot of fun over this hour, and I appreciate the invite. Talking sports is, it'll never get old talking sports. So anything you guys need, just hit me up. If you guys want me to come on again, just let me know, and I'm always down. And this episode, I'll for sure promote on NBA Buzz and turn it into quote graphic everything we say and put some video up. So
one more thing, Mikey. Any news you want to break on the Pro Fan Sports podcast? Any big NBA news? Like, come on now.
Any buzz you got off your phone just right now?
I did have to check it a couple times for some things, but not much. But I think something interesting is going to happen this trade deadline. I think something unexpected is going to happen. I think Kristaps Porzingis may be on the move. Who knows?
We're saying
that. Wow, there we go, Brad. That's what you were looking for.
He dropped a Mikey bomb, like the Woj bomb.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you sure?
I'm not saying I'm sure because
that the Mavs are gonna move up Porzingis. What are you seeing that could make that happen?
I'm not sure, but I've heard some people telling me some things that there's a little bit of rumblings there because KP cannot stay healthy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
If they're really not getting anything from him, they might as well try to get some pieces around him, maybe a pick or two here and there, and see what they could do. Because are they going to give up on him? Maybe. Are they not going to? Are they not? I don't know. How deep can this team go with that? I'm not sure.
That's true, man. That's true. Well, again, man, thank you so much, man. We're going to be following you. We'll be putting up the video. It's coming out on Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. Again, we truly appreciate it, and we'll see you soon.
Perfect, guys. It was a pleasure. Thanks a lot.
Nice to meet you. Thank you very much.
Nice meeting you. Thanks for coming on.
No problem.
Let's get into the NFL now. We just had Mikey Domagala on, and it's actually Mikey Domagala, from the NBA Buzz, and, he just blessed us with his presence. But now he's gone. We're going to move into the NFL news like we always do. So some NFL news is J.J. Watt signed with the Arizona Cardinals for a 2-year contract, which actually came out on Monday, March 1st. So he actually broke the news himself. He's been dropping a lot of subliminals on social media, and everybody thought he was going to go to either the Packers, the Bills, or somewhere else. I forgot the third destination, but
Steelers?
The Steelers, yes. And so he's decided to go with the Arizona Cardinals. He's back with D-Hop, man. Y'all see the news. Does this move the needle much for the Cardinals?
I don't know, man. I don't know why, but I'm disappointed. I just don't believe in the Cardinals.
I'm with you on that. Like with what?
I just don't believe in the Cardinals. It's I don't know. I just thought he was gonna sign with a better contender, somebody that's more ready to win, where he can have a better impact. I don't think it's a bad deal. He signed with whoever he wanted to sign with. I just think he could have signed with anybody, and he just signed with the Cardinals. And I don't know. I think the Cardinals are a couple years away from being a real contender.
No, I definitely think differently on that. And I certainly hear what you're saying, Brad, but I think this is certainly a really good move for the Arizona Cardinals. I agree.
I agree it's a good move for the Cardinals. I'm talking about from a JJ Watt standpoint.
No, I think it's also a good move, from him. I mean, they definitely got some talent and some players, particularly on that defense. They have Chandler Jones, who's going to be on the same defensive line as him. They got Bubba Baker, who's, a pretty good linebacker, as well as Isaiah Simpson, who's another really good talent. And, I mean, they also do have Patrick Peterson, even though he's declining. But he can still make a play every here and there. And if you certainly have two good rushers like, J.J. Watt and Chandler Jones, he doesn't have to cover for as long as he normally would. So I think certainly, he may numbers-wise not be the player who he was in his prime and stuff, but I certainly think he brings that, that leadership, and I think also changes the culture on that team. And I think he, because he's the guy that those guys highly, respect already, and they know that, he brings a lot to the table, like, his toughness, how hard he works and how hard he plays, and, his energy and, and his grit. So I think that's certainly gonna, elevate those guys and, and make them better, make them work just as hard and, to improve as players. And I think certainly this team, will certainly obviously be a playoff team. Already, to me, is going to be a playoff team even before this move, but I definitely can see them, even being a contender as soon as next year. They got a pretty good offense as well, and now that, they added to their defense with another playmaker that can help them, I think this certainly, puts the Cardinals in a really good spot to, even possibly win the division, or at the very least be a wild card team, for next season.
I definitely don't think they're gonna. Well, if you're talking about like their division, not like the NFC East. I mean NFC, right? You talking
NFC
about
West?
No, not like the whole NFC. They're not gonna be like NFC champs, but like their division.
No. But
okay,
yeah, right. They'll make the playoffs and be a wild card team, right?
Okay.
But
No, I
I'm
agree,
not saying
man.
that they'll come out of the NFC.
I agree. Like Vlad, I was kind of disappointed because I thought you would be ring chasing, and I feel like there's nothing in Arizona that tells you they're gonna go into the championship next year. You know what I'm saying? Like they started out pretty solid last year, but fell pretty hard, and failed to actually make the playoffs. With some of the losses that they had, like last minute losses.
And that's
Kyler Murray.
That's a tough division too.
It's really tough.
It's really tough. And this is the selfish part of me. I mean, I think he made I'm sure he made the deal that he thought was best for him.
Mm-hmm.
But the selfish part of me want to see the fireworks. You know what I mean? Like going to the Packers, I think that's fireworks. Going to
the Chiefs. Going to the Bucks.
Going to the Bucks, that's fireworks. I mean, like, going to Buffalo. Going to Buffalo.
Even going to the Bills. Yeah.
Oh, that would have been fireworks.
Going to the Ravens.
It would have been bad for us if we went to the Buffalo Bills, but still, like, I just wanted to see fireworks. And when I saw the picture of him, lifting weights, I was like, oh, come on, man.
Yeah.
Nah. You're like, damn, bro, you hyped this up all just to go to Arizona.
To Arizona, come on. You're not even going to a real place. Man.
You're not even going to a real place.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
I mean, I know it's a joke, but like, has the Cardinals done anything in the last 10 years? So like, other than when Kurt Warner was their quarterback, they haven't really done shit. Will tell you.
Well, when Carson Palmer was there with Bruce Arians, they reached the NFC Championship.
Right, but they didn't make it any further than that.
Yeah, No.
I'm saying because they made it to the Super Bowls with Kurt Warner. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
but they haven't done anything.
Right.
And they haven't really done anything since. Bolden, man. I miss Anquan Bolden in the league, man. That was one of my favorite guys in the league right there. But congratulations to JJ Watt. He seems like he got good money. I think he got like 31 mil for the next 2 years, which is what, like 15.5 mil I don't know if I
So
paid
23 guaranteed. He got 31 mil. 23 of that money is
right.
guaranteed.
But
So,
I was gonna say like 15 and a half a season. But I mean, with 23 guaranteed, like you could fall off the face of the earth and still make that money. So congrats to him. I don't know if Contender was gonna give him that kind of contract though. You know,
right. That's probably why he went to Arizona. So yeah,
he's still playing for the money.
Him.
He's like, bro, I'm playing for $1 million this year, like Cam Newton did last year, just for one ring, man. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm doing. But again, man, congratulations to him. I mean, the league is great with J.J. Watt. This guy has probably some of the best poster pics of all time. You know what I mean? Like, this dude's he's like a photogenic guy. Like, you see him come out, you see the pictures with the smoke, you see the picture with his face all bloodied up, and it's like,
but I heard that he's like a little bit of he's like I don't want to call him a clout chaser, but wherever the camera is, he looks for that.
I mean,
like but I'm saying like he has that annoying quality of him. Where it's like whenever he sees the camera, he tries to show up for it. You know what I mean?
You know what I heard? Chase Winovich is like that. I heard Bill Belichick don't like that.
Oh, that's why he's played diminished over the years.
I can see why they don't get along.
Because Winovich is trying to, grow his brand, and Bill Belichick is like, you just got here, man.
Yeah, I don't like those kind of.
Like, who are you?
I mean, Rob Gronkowski did it.
But Rob was literally the best tight end for like 7-8 years.
Yep, for sure. Especially when he wasn't injured.
He could do whatever he wanted. I didn't care.
So what you're saying is,
performed.
So what you're saying is, Chase, do your fucking work, and then maybe we could talk. You know what I'm saying? Maybe. How about you get 10 sacks in 1 year first? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You haven't had any of that. You've had 6 sacks, 6.5 this year, or 7. That's the most on the Patriots this year.
He had that this year?
Yeah, he had like about 7 sacks this year. Mm-hmm.
I thought he even had less than that.
Like it's 6.5.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So
he needs at least 10, but he's got a lot more.
You know what? I'll say at least 12. At least 12 before you start thinking about doing interviews, podcasts, none of that shit. And until you do that,
interviews and
that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, do what you need to do, but if you want to come to the Profane Sports Podcast, we'll take you.
You already know. With that said,
for sure.
Some Patriots news, guys that opted out the last year, like Chung Hightower and Marcus Canning are due to actually come back this season. So already before the offseason started, we know that the Patriots are going to have a better roster next year. So that's big news for the Patriots, especially on the defense, especially in the middle of that defense with Dante Hightower coming back to shore things up. Another news, Julian Edelman. So we got the guys coming back, and then we got a guy that might not come back. And Julian Edelman, he's unsure about returning. He's still rehabbing his injuries. And Julian Edelman is 34. He's taken a lot of hits. His best buddy's not here anymore. You know what I mean? He played barely like 5 games last year, so he's breaking down fast, and I'm really not surprised at all.
Yeah, well, that goes back to the conversation we had last week about having him as our number 1 receiver. We just can't have that, you know what I mean? We need to make some moves on that side of the ball.
No, that's a fact for sure.
For sure. Absolutely. With it's fortunate, with Jules, that you may not come back. You'd like to see him back for 1 more year, but there definitely can understand why there'd be uncertainty as far as him, being unsure why he, whether he wants to come back or not, or is able to, from a health standpoint. So, we definitely gotta make moves without question, but we gotta first find out who the hell's got quarterback gonna be, because if you don't know who the quarterback's gonna be, then you really can't make.
Speaking of the quarterback, our former quarterback So we had 2 former quarterbacks in the last 2 years. You know, we had Tom Brady, and now we have another former quarterback in Cam Newton, who was making headlines all last week. One was he was on the I Am an Athlete podcast with Chad Ochocinco, Brandon Marshall, and the other dude,
and Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor.
Fred Taylor. They got another guy too.
They have another guy too. I forgot his name.
Crowder, I believe, is his last name. He used to be a linebacker for the Dolphins.
Yep.
I remember
him. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I forget his first name, but you know, Cam Newton was on there. They have guests come in all the time. You know, high profile guests, and obviously they're former NFL players and some of the best players to play. So they're able to exactly.
They got those connections, right?
It's a really good podcast, actually.
It really is.
I watch it sometimes. They share some amazing stories on that podcast. But the highlight from that was Cam was saying, Bill Belichick is a really cool dude. It's a really cool coach. It's worth knowing him. He teaches a lot about the history of the NFL, the history of football. He's just a great teacher when it comes to football. And he said he's the most underrated dude in the NFL.
Well, he said most misunderstood.
Misunderstood, yeah.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
And then the last thing he said was that he doesn't want to go out like he played last year. You know, he doesn't want that to be the last memory of him, and he wants to change that. So
I mean, let's talk about that a little bit, because I know, you know, he played for us last year and he didn't look that great in a lot of the games, but some of the games he did look really good. And, you know, we've said on this show many, many times, we didn't give him any weapons or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he was saying in the interview, like, this would be another year that he'd be in the system, and that he can actually have a Cam Newton offense as opposed to trying to learn the 20 years, you know, Tom Brady had here, which I feel like is a valid point for him. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly he cannot make the throws that Tom Brady makes, and he cannot run the offense that Tom Brady ran here. You know, and we saw lots of evidence around that last year. You know, but I definitely thought he was definitely interesting. You know, bringing up Bill. I feel like some of it is true, but some of it is like, yo, I'm a free agent and I don't have a team right now. So like, what else are you gonna say? Like, you can't really talk bad about, you know, Bill Belichick now.
Well, I don't think he would have talked bad about him, but I felt as though he was being genuine though when watching that part of the interview. I thought he was being really genuine. But I think to piggyback of what you're saying, you know, he didn't have any weapons. This will be his second year in the system. Also, I think it could be his second year of his injury. You know, he basically spent a year without playing football. So I do think he will be better in the next year, in the upcoming season.
So you think he should be back?
That's where we stop.
That's where the conversation stops.
Yeah, right there.
That's where we don't talk anymore. Like, I'm finished with this.
I mean, you know, I like him. It's not that I don't want him back. It was such a bad year.
Listen, we cannot have what we had last year again.
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
But don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if he's back.
Oh boy, don't tell me that, Vlad.
We're gonna be crying, but don't be surprised if he's back.
I will be crying a river on this podcast and be the most furious Patriot fan in New England if that man is back. Like, I'll be so pissed off and venting all podcast long if that man comes back. So
because he's ass.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that kid back here.
That's why I said that, actually. So prior to Cam Newton actually going on the I Am an Athlete pod, he made headlines before that because, you know, actually I posted it on our Instagram, profans_sports. Go follow that, and make sure you're subscribing to this channel right now. I posted a video of a kid, you know, at a football camp, a 7-on-7 camp, which is organized by, you know, football organizations that bring in promising young athletes, promising young football players to come in and do a 7-on-7 tournament. It's pretty much like a flag football thing. It's nothing where people are, tackling and stuff like that. And Cam Newton, he's a frequent attendee of these things. Cam Newton actually has his own.
They invited him.
Yeah, they invited him, but Cam Newton actually has his own like football camp where he helps train NFL athletes or like high school athletes. He actually has people that have trained under him that are actually in the NFL right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, wasn't Jacoby Myers one of those?
Jacoby
people?
Myers was one of them. And there's a few other guys that actually are really good that came up under Cam Newton. So
that are in the league right now, yeah.
Right. So he frequents a lot of these 7-on-7 tournaments and stuff like that. And while he was there, one of the youth goers pretty much was talking trash to him, pretty much telling him he's ass and, you're a free agent, you about to be poor, your ass. And Cam Newton looked like he was visibly frustrated and came back at him like, well, I'm rich. You know what I'm saying? And pretty much asking him like, where's your dad? Later on, a longer video came out with Cam Newton pretty much telling the young man like, this is not the way you do it. If you want attention, that's not the way you get it. Not by, trying to bring somebody down, so you can be recognized and stuff like that. And since then, that kid has issued an apology and stuff like that. But was the kid in the right to do this?
Of course not. I mean, that's not even a question, to be honest. No kid should ever say that to anybody, period. But to say that to Cam Newton, was doing you a favor by being there at the camp, trying to help you become an NFL player that he already is. And he's right. He's motherfucking rich. He's an NFL player. He's won an MVP of the league. He's been to a Super Bowl, and he's not played well the last couple of years, but that guy worked his ass off to get to where he is. Trust me, he's not ass. He's been to the place where you're trying to go and where you might not even make it, because there's only so many people that make it there. So you should be getting advice from him about how to make it there, and not talking out of your ass and calling him an ass. You know what I mean? So but he apologized, and I think he did the right thing. It's over now. He can move on and learn from that. And Cam Newton, I give Cam Newton all the props, because Cam Newton could have said anything to that kid, and he didn't buy into whatever that kid was selling.
That's for sure, man.
Yeah, no, I certainly agree. With Vlad, there's really not much too else to say. Definitely, clearly, the kid, was wrong, and he knew he was wrong, and obviously, like you said, John issued that apology, and for his mistake that he made. That definitely can't be. No kid should speak to another grown man or an adult in that manner. And I'm glad that he realizes and understands that now. And then hopefully we don't see that again. Hopefully other kids can learn that from him, from his mistake that he made. That respect your elders and appreciate the ones that give back to you and that are there to to help you grow and improve and get better. And that's what Cam Newton was there for. So it was unfortunate that happened and it went viral. But at least they squashed the beef, amongst both sides, and they can both, move on and get, and get past this.
Yeah, I mean, I posted it on Instagram, and I definitely, was poking a little fun at it. But when I first seen the video, I was not laughing at all. Like, that actually really bothered me. You know what I'm saying? Because you guys, this is a guy that's made it to the upper echelon of, athletics. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people get to make it to the NFL, become the rookie of the year, go to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Made several Pro Bowls, holds several records for quarterbacks as a rusher and stuff like that. And, you know,
right, and even a former MVP,
a
exactly.
former MVP, and I get it. You know, he hasn't performed the last couple of years, but it's like, it's kind of like he's not asked because he's actually in the NFL. How many people can say that? You know what I mean? It's like even the worst basketball players can whoop your ass in basketball. Like Scalabrine will give us the business, bro.
Cook you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like guys like us, Scalabrine will cook us without trying. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
You know, drop Cam Newton in the CFL right now. He's gonna cook that league. You know what I'm saying? That's how good of a talent he is. You know, it might not have translated the last couple of years, but you know, I thought that was highly disrespectful. And it's like you're calling the man ass, and you went viral because of him. You know what I'm saying? If it's not because of him, we don't even know who that is. You know, we're not even talking about this person. Exactly. You know, and how many NFL players are coming to your 7-on-7 tournaments, watching you play flag football? Not many.
Very many. Exactly.
You know, like these guys
are willing to even be out there and give you their time. It's the off season; they could be anywhere and doing anything they want.
And I was also disappointed by the bystanders. You know what I'm saying? Like the person that was filming it won, you know, the kids that was behind him that were like, oh, you know what I'm saying? It's like that follower mentality. It's like if I'm there, like I'm probably smacking this dude in the back of the head, like shut the fuck up, dude. Like what are you doing? You know?
But you do that as a kid, John, even as a 15 or 16-year-old kid.
I always say this, man. When I was 16, I had the mentality of a 40-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Because I've always been the oldest in my family, and I've always had to be like, take responsibility and stuff like that. And that wouldn't fly in my presence. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I understood like opportunities. Like, yo, this is the opportunity to go talk to Cam Newton, maybe get into his camp. You know what I'm saying? Maybe get with some real trainers, you know, maybe get away from your little high school coach and get into a real football coach that's touched other levels. But obviously kids are not thinking on that level. And, you know, I don't blame them. You know, kids will be kids at the end of the day. But I definitely would, if I'm this kid's parents, like, you know, I'm doing, come here. Like, you know, I'm doing one of those.
You would have been grounded for at least a week.
A week?
1 week.
Boy, listen. You know, the Haitians have this thing called a zoclo, okay? Now, you're catching at least 3 of them. You know what I mean? Vlad, you know
what's a zoclo? I don't know what that is. I know Vlad knows what that is.
It's called a zoclo. Vlad, can you tell them what a zoclo is?
Well, first off, I don't condemn hitting kids anymore. And I understand that's how I grew up, but that's just not how I want to. I don't condemn that anymore. But a zoclo is when you put your hand like this, and then you take the kid and you just hit him on the head.
Oh, shoot.
Like you literally take your 2 knuckles and go bang, bang. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it hurts.
Parents did that to y'all when y'all were growing up?
Bro,
back in the days?
Parents, uncles, grandmothers,
it's mostly the uncles.
It's mostly the uncles.
Oh, dang, the uncles be good.
It's like a knuckle, sandwich, like a noogie. You know what I'm saying? Like, what
that sounds painful, right?
Yeah.
Right. The sound of that is, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
I don't imagine how painful that is.
No, I've seen a couple memes with this little boy. He's like crying. He's like this. You know what I'm talking about? The meme, like the little boy, he's crying.
No, yeah. I think I've seen that. Yeah,
he's like going like this, and that's how you react to a zoclo every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying? Like,
dang, yeah. I'm sure that's definitely the proper the reaction that that just sounds.
That's the Haitian discipline. You know what I'm saying?
So would be
shout out to all the
and buzzing for days.
You'll have a headache for a couple of days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but definitely.
Shout out to all the zoclo giving uncles out there. You know, we appreciate y'all. But let's move on. That was the NFL segment. We didn't have too much on the NFL right now because obviously there's not much going on. You know, it's the off season. It's coming up. We're just gonna update you as the off season goes along. We're gonna do a draft. You know, a draft special. You know, in the coming weeks. So be on the lookout for that. But let's get into.
We should do a free agency special too. We got free agency coming up in a
yeah, we do.
weeks.
Yeah, we do.
With the tampering period coming up on the 15th, which is 2 weeks from today, and then the 17th is free agency. So yeah, we'll definitely have some more news in the coming weeks for you guys with the NFL.
Yes, sir. Stay with the Pro Fan Sports Podcast to get your update. For the MLB, there's not much going on. Spring training came around. The Red Sox played a couple games. They lost both of them. The first game was to the Twins. They lost 7-6. And then the second one was to the Braves. They lost 5-3. Did you guys watch the spring training?
No.
I didn't either. I
don't typically watch spring training.
People don't even watch regular season baseball. Who's watching spring training?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I watch the regular season.
I watch some regular season.
Just saying, like, the common or non-common baseball fan doesn't watch regular season games usually. So, no, I definitely don't think too many people, saw that. But yeah, we'll see what the Red Sox have in store for this season.
Absolutely, man. And we'll keep you updated. We'll continue keeping you updated as the season goes along. Right now, it's only spring training. They've lost 2, so that's not great, but it's practice. So practice make perfect. So, we'll see the end product. What's that?
Well, guys, we have to talk about the big news that happened this week regarding Boston, sports.
What's that?
Well, all right, I'll be the one to drop the bomb. So apparently, the Governor Charlie Baker of Massachusetts has decided to open up all arenas and stadiums in the state starting on March 22nd. There's going to be a limited capacity of 12% that'll be allowed to attend Celtics games, Bruins games, and Red Sox games as well, and Patriots games once they open up in September. So that's going to be starting later this month. So that's exciting news for all Boston sports fans that are craving on going to sporting event in the near future.
Right. Yeah, man. Thank you for that, Barry. Absolutely
you guys
right.
Have any reactions to that? Quick reactions, or? I'm
not going into any games right now. Just because everything that's going on. I mean, it's exciting, but I'll wait until we can all go back and get in there.
1, I'm not going to any game right now. 2, it's gonna be so hard to get tickets.
Yeah,
because it's
only 12%.
Yeah, it's gonna be so hard to get tickets. It's already hard to get tickets when
it's regular.
It's a full stadium, so now it's even gonna be harder. I mean, I'm excited for it. I think not just for sports, that just shows you that we are trending in the right direction for the world in general. But it's exciting. At least there'll be real crowds.
Right. Absolutely.
Facts,
and I'm sure it'll help our teams perform better, particularly, our Celtics that are struggling right now. They could use that extra boost,
little extra motivation
and energy from the crowd and from the Celtics fans that they typically get when the Celtics fans are able to be there. So, no, I'm definitely excited and looking forward to it. Might even attend a game or 2 just to see how the experience goes and to come back on the podcast and talk about it. But at least it's a step in the right direction, like you said, and at least we're getting somewhat back to some normalcy, in this country, which is exactly what we need at this point in time.
Right. So good luck to those people that are going to those games. We're gonna go into the NHL. I'm just gonna update you on the scores. for some of the games that happened for the Bruins. They played the Flyers, Islanders, Rangers twice, right? So they won against the Flyers 7-3. They lost against the Islanders 7-2. They lost against the Rangers 6-2. And did they win or lose against the Rangers? They won against the Rangers, right? 4-1.
They won the second game against the Rangers, 4-1.
Right. So, the season's continuing and, go Bruins, man. We're going to go straight into something we don't really talk about much on this show. We're going to give you a little golf update, and that's, Tiger Woods got in a major car accident, a one-person car accident over the last week, and he was rushed to the hospital, had to have surgery for his legs. So his legs were injured. I don't know what that means for his career. I heard that he's doing all right now, but who knows? You know what I'm saying? Who knows what the extent of his injuries are, and we'll see what happens.
The Tiger Woods accident, crazy. I hope he's okay. I heard they use a lot of screws and metals to put his leg together. I hope that's not the end of his career. But if anybody can come back, we know it's Tiger.
We'll see what happens.
Speedy recovery.
Yeah, I know.
Tiger.
I think I'm not even really concerned about that. And whether he comes back into golf or not, just because he's already had a legendary and iconic career. I just want him to be able to live somewhat of a normal life after this, and to be able to what I'm saying, just be a regular person, which is definitely a long road ahead. I'm certainly glad he's still alive from seeing the pictures of the accident. It was just tragic and heartbreaking, and feel like if that was a regular person, they would have probably been dead and gone. But luckily, he was able to still make it out of alive and get to the hospital in time for them to do the surgery on his leg. Multiple surgeries that they've done. So yeah, hopefully he can come back from this and just be a regular person. So you're definitely best of luck to Tiger Woods, and wish him a quick and speedy recovery. With this injury that he's had.
Yeah, for sure, man. And now we're gonna go into something we haven't had in a couple months. I feel like since the Steelers started shitting the bed last season. Our favorite.
Yeah, they call him out like that, man. Oh, you
Listen,
had to do that to him.
All season we were subjected to Steelers questions, and then as soon as they start doing that, we got no Steelers questions. You know what I mean?
You do that to my mans, though.
Listen, we love Eddie. You know what I'm saying? But we got to get him when we got to get him. You know what I mean?
We got to keep it real on this podcast.
You know what I'm saying? We got to get him, but.
Facts.
No, shout outs to Eddie, the big Steelers fan. So hopefully next year they come back, even stronger than they did this year. But the question this week is going to be from Adrian Mack. We've had him on the show before, so shout outs to Adrian.
Yes, big shout out to
his
Adrian
question
Mack.
is,
my guy.
Yeah, what do you think the Patriots will have for a record in the 2021 season, and what would be a successful season be? What would a successful season be?
Yeah, you said that right.
I don't have a prediction for you, Adrian. It's way too early. No moves have been made. We don't know exactly what the team is going to look like. I definitely don't have a prediction for you. But a successful season would be a season where the Patriots makes the playoff.
Boom.
Absolutely. No, certainly with, Vlad on this one. I think, it all depends. A big part of it will depend on who they bring in as quarterback, whether they bring back Cam Newton or someone else or a drafted guy. I'd probably say if they bring him back, they'll definitely finish below 500 and not make the playoffs. If they do, if they do bring him back, they'll finish below 500. If they don't bring him back and bring someone else that's actually a serviceable quarterback, I think they can go like 9-7 Yeah, around like 9-7, 10-6, be close to borderline wild card team and be right there in the hunt at the end of the season and have more of a chance to actually, get one of those 3 wild card spots. So, I mean, you're right. There's a lot of off season left and a lot of things that have to happen before we can come up with a prediction. But if I had to come up with one, that's probably what I would say as of right now.
Yeah, I'm with Vlad on this, man. I'm not going to make no predictions for next year just because so much stuff can happen. We have a big off season coming up for us. So many pieces can move. So many people cannot be here. We still don't know what we're going to do at the quarterback position. And, that pretty much that's what controls everything. It depends on that. So we'll see what we do on there. And I'm going to agree with Vlad again. If we make the playoffs, that's a successful season for me because from what we
Absolutely.
looked at like last year to this year, that would be, so much better, because that's what we play for around here. We have to make at least a playoff. So that for us, that would be a successful season. We came close last year, but that was based on other teams not doing so well. We were alive. We were alive a long time during the season, but next year we can't be in the same predicament. So,
yep, absolutely.
Adrian, thank you for sending in the question and thank you for the support. Keep supporting us, man. And we're gonna move into that B Money lifestyle. You got somebody for us this week, Barry?
Yes, we do have someone for the B Money lifestyle of the week. So that person, is actually, former, B Money lifestyle person of the week. Previously on, a few months ago, but they've certainly done something that I feel like is worthy of recognizing them during this segment. And that person would be Russell Westbrook or Brody or AKA Why Not. So what he did this week was he actually ended up opening up a school, that's going to actually be, named after him. He opened up a school in his, native of LA, in the LA area. It's going to be called, I believe, the Why Not Academy. So, yeah, I know that's funny how they gonna name it.
Listen.
Yeah.
I know brands and stuff like that. I know that's like his moniker or whatever. But really,
and he also has the Why Not Foundation. So that's
right. I don't care about any of that. This is a school. Oh, I go to Why Not.
I think it's perfect. I mean, I think it's perfect because it becomes.
Yo, what school do you go to? Why not? What do you mean? Why not?
No, but it's. I think it's way more than that, though. I think it's I think it becomes the theme of the school. It's like, why not me?
Why not us?
Why not me? Why not us? Like why can we do why not? Or why can we be great? Why not be great? I think it'll be.
I mean,
listen, it's a school, man. It's
to me, I'd be like, yo, call it Westbrook High. Your slogan is why not? You know what I mean? Like, I go to Westbrook. You know what I mean? Like that's your last name is perfect, man.
Nah, I like it. I like the why not.
Yeah. So I'm glad you guys do like it. I think it's interesting, to say the least, that they chose that school, that name specifically for his new school that he's opening up. So yeah, it's really called the Russell Westbrook Why Not Academy. So what that academy is going to be consisted of is going to provide educational services to students from grades 6 to 12. So I was just going to say, maybe one day, John, you can get a job from this since you work in the educational system. So who knows?
Why not?
Exactly. There you go, John. Why not? Right. Facts. Perfect. Right. So his quote that he had, talking about, as far as why he opened the school and what his mission plan is for these kids in this school was, my plan is making sure you guys and the future kids coming in have access to all the resources you need to be successful. So as we know, he's the second active NBA player to launch a school for underserved children. As we know, LeBron James also did the same thing with his I Promise school in his hometown of Akron, Ohio, in July of 2018. And a statement from the LA Promise Fund, who helped Russell Westbrook, come up with the school, was we aim to ensure that students from South Los Angeles have access to a college, and career education that is community-based, fights against the constitutionalized racism, and uplifts and empowers individuals in the communities they live in. So that's a pretty cool, and powerful statement there to be able to say that's what they're aiming to do. I think that's a great goal and accomplishment for for that fund, and as well as for this academy to be able to provide these kids with these resources, and and strive to to do those things in that community and society. So it's definitely great that he's giving back to his community, Russell Westbrook, as he's done previously with this Why Not Foundation that he's had since 2012 when he was in OKC. So I'm certainly glad he's continuing to do big things off the court, and definitely wanted to commend him for doing so, and and for giving back to the kids, which is always a great thing, for athletes and or anyone to be able to do. So definitely shout out to Russell Westbrook on being this week's Be Money Lifestyle Person of the Week. And that's definitely that Be Money Lifestyle. And real quick to end the show, I just want to give a quick happy birthday shout out to one of our biggest pro fans, sports podcast fans, Gillette Paul, who just had a birthday on this past Saturday. So definitely happy birthday, Gillette Paul, and I hope that you get to listen to this episode of this podcast. Now, I'm sure he will, because he listened to, I believe, all 49 going on 50 episode. I'm sure he'll hear this once this does come out, on Tuesday on streaming platforms, and then Wednesday on YouTube. So, yeah, that's my Be Money Lifestyle segment of the week.
Yeah, man, why not? Why not?
That's right.
No,
that's it right there, John.
That's
right.
it. Shout outs to Gillette Paul, man. I know he's on all our platforms, man. And this is it's called Pro Fan Sports. So we're about the fans and supporters, and we're always gonna big them up, on our platform. And that's gonna be it for us for the big episode 50. Truly appreciate you guys for coming on. Truly appreciate the supporters. Keep following us. Please subscribe to the channel. We do really hard work trying to put this together for y'all on a weekly basis. So make sure y'all subscribing, sharing, commenting. Spread the word, man. Grow with us. You know what I'm saying? And until episode 51, have a good week, y'all. Peace out.
Peace, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a good week. See you next week, guys.